What is up, fellow bench warmers? This is your daily fantasy quickie. What's up, guys? Another day, another quickie. It's Thanksgiving in the US in a few hours, I
Yeah.
guess. And
Today or is it tomorrow?
I think it's tomorrow.
Yeah,
I think it's tomorrow. So we have a 12 games slate today, and tomorrow there's gonna be no games. And as always, I'm your host JJT with Komish Eric. Komish, we've got great 12 games slate today, and great in the sense that we've got lots of great performances, lots of nice stat lines. I think even some of the waiver pickups were quite good. But I think let's start off with some feel-good stories or feel-good players. Anthony Davis yesterday. We didn't talk about Anthony Davis yet. How many did he do? He had 18 rebounds, 21 rebounds, 37 points.
Yeah, 37, 21, and how many?
Five steals.
5 blocks. Yeah, he's doing his best Joel Embiid right now. He's number 2. He's number 2 in fantasy at the moment. So there.
Okay, so we've always, early in the season, or at least at some point, every year in the fantasy season, we've always said that, Anthony Davis is a sell type of player. Whenever he does something like this, you sell him as fast as you can. Is this that moment? Is this that point wherein you say, I know not everyone's gonna get him, or of course you're not gonna get top 5 value for Anthony Davis. I doubt it.
Yeah.
But is it really the time to sell right now? Or given that there's not much value for a player like Anthony Davis?
I don't think you cannot get top 5 value right now. He's playing really, really well. So I think you can get top 5 value for him. You should get top 5 value for him. And yes, you should. I think you should sell him at this point. I mean, if you want to sell him, if you're not confident about his injury history, this is the time you should sell him. So, but again, I will not settle for anything less than top 5. Top 5.
And when we're talking about top 5, who are the players there? Steph, KD,
yeah. These are the guys
Joel Embiid.
I prefer, yeah.
Tatum, maybe.
Yeah. Tatum, and I think so, yeah.
Of course, Jokic is the other player, which I don't think you're gonna be able to get as well. So anything less than that, like players like Trey, players like Karl Anthony Towns, you'll say no.
No, yeah. Maybe not.
All right. So yeah, Anthony Davis has been on fire. Yeah, sell. That's our take, because this has always been the Anthony Davis we've seen every year. Early season success, and then he's banged up, right? Every game he's banged up. I think in yesterday's game he hurt his hand too.
Yeah, he hurt his hand. He said he lost sensation in the hand. But he, as I said, if there's such a thing as an Iron Man injury-prone player, it's Anthony Davis. The sheer number of injuries he plays through is also something else. I mean, how many locker room trips? He's not being dramatic about it. He's really hurt. But I know his ankle, his whatever. He's feeling so many things. So he's playing through it because LeBron's out. Although LeBron will be back after Thanksgiving. That's the scoop.
That's the news. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the news. So as of now, he's gonna play through it. I believe that Anthony Davis was really gonna be very good if he plays. he's gonna be a per game top 5 player to top 6 at least per game. Now, how many games will he play from here on? Or will he be there when you need him the most? Because last year he was there until around week 17,
Mid-season,
16,
maybe.
around 16 or 17, week 16 or 17. That's where he got the, I don't know, shoulder
He got
injury.
hurt. Yeah.
Yeah. So if we can swap him for someone safer, I guess, healthier, that's okay. But if you cannot, don't force it, because if you cannot, he's also been very good. There's still a chance he's gonna play through it because the Lakers do want to compete. So as long as it's not a major injury, they would try to, make him play as much games as he can.
Right.
So don't force it. Don't force
Yeah.
it.
So that's Anthony Davis, another player who played well yesterday and today.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons showed Philly what they are missing.
They lost. Maybe they're not missing much. They lost.
Yeah, they lost the game to the second unit of Philly.
Yeah.
Well, pretty much the team B of Philly. But we don't care about that. Like we always say, we don't care who wins or loses in a game. As long as the stat lines are there, Ben Simmons had, solid stat line once again. Is this same question? Is this a sell high moment for Ben Simmons? Is this the right time to sell? Or you think this is a different story because Ben Simmons might not be as fragile as in terms of physical as Anthony Davis, and you probably pick him at a lower value.
If this is not the right time to sell Ben Simmons, I don't know when. Because according to Yahoo, the past 7 days is fourth overall. For the past week is fourth overall. So when else would you want to sell him if not now? Of course, you can get up to top 20, whatever. But a top 50 player, I think at this point, with the way he's playing, is already feasible, already possible. You can see the past 5 games, the averages. I mean, his assist numbers are around 7 or 8. 2
Don't you
steals,
think
2
this
blocks
would
a game.
stick?
I think it can stick. I actually said if he's healthy, he's going to be good. Again, similar with Anthony Davis. If he's healthy, will he be healthy? Can we trust him to be healthy? That's the question. He looks good. He looks good right now. The way he moves, he looks like there's nothing wrong with the back anymore.
And he looks more engaged, more active.
Yes.
Attacking the basket, more confident as well.
That's true.
Unlike the early part of the season. The early part of the season, I think the whole Brooklyn team has more how do you call this? They are more motivated right now. The whole Brooklyn team.
It helped the new coach came, and then the Kyrie incident is now behind them. So it's looking up. Now, you have to imagine where the value of Ben Simmons was just a couple of weeks ago. He was like, basically people were thinking of dropping him because he was not playing. He was hurt, and then when he came back, he just came off the bench, 2 points, 6 points, 2 points, something like that. So from there to here, it's a big leap, right? So if you want to sell him now, I think this is the time. If you want to sell him, this is the time. And again, top 50 is my baseline there. Maybe 60 if you want, because this kind of Ben Simmons is top 20, top 30 version of Ben Simmons. This is his upside. This is his ceiling, right? So not this ceiling, you can't get it for this ceiling, but somewhere lower, a little lower than that is okay. Little lower than that is okay.
Yeah, and it's another player. He's going to be another player who's hard to sell to other managers just because of the risk, the reputation in the recent years, right, in past 2 years. But let's see. Maybe for the right build, for the right team build, there will be some managers who would buy it there.
And And another thing, he starting with Claxton now, and the minutes are there for both of them, Claxton and Ben Simmons. So that's something we have to watch out for because they played well. They've been playing well together, Claxton and Simmons, which is not the case before because of the spacing. I haven't watched the game, so I really don't know what changes Jax Bond did when these two players are playing together. But I guess there's some adjustments that he made, and it's been working. So that's
which is good. Which is good for both Claxton and Simmons.
Yes, it's very good for both of them. Instead of time sharing, they go 30 plus minutes for Simmons. The past 4 games, 32, 32, 35, 32. So that's very good. If he gets that kind of minutes, the numbers will just come to him because he rebounds. He's the guy bringing down the ball. Just by having KD there, he's gonna get assists. Steals and blocks are easy for him. So those numbers will be there. It's sustainable. So I do think he's tradable. I mean, you said it's hard to trade, but I think given there's some recency bias with managers when they see what he's done, and let's say Scotty Barnes.
There'll be some managers
can get him. Maybe. I mean, he's
Scotty
injured.
Barnes is injured. Yes, he is injured.
Maybe just saying. I mean, if you're really good negotiator or whatever, maybe you can get him.
Yeah. So that's Ben Simmons and Anthony Davis. Ja Morant returned way earlier.
Yeah.
Way earlier than expected. And he played okay. I think he played well.
Yes, he played well. He's unlike other soft players like LaMelo. Who sprains their ankle and misses so many games. I really don't know how he does it, but he looked fine. He was jumping all over and his normal self. So this is one thing. Like
this is just one. This is a case of it might have looked worse than it really was.
Maybe. Yeah, I could see that. I could see maybe it looked worse, but this has happened before though. This has happened before, and so I don't think it's just the injury. It was grade 1, so that's not that bad. It wasn't grade 2, but grade 1 sprains usually take some weeks. I mean, at least 3 games average. He missed 1 game and looked very, very spry coming back from that injury. So that is one characteristic of Ja Morant and Donovan Mitchell for that matter that I really think should be included in evaluating these players. Really good.
All right, so you put up in your quick hits, you put up the face-off, the FBW face-off. Ja Morant or De'Aaron Fox? Would you like?
I answered it. I want to hear your side to it. I did say I prefer Ja because of this thing, because of how fast a healer he is. So I'll be not as worried about injuries. Plus, I think Fox 85% free throw, 55% field goal. I just don't think it's sustainable. Today, after I wrote that today, he was what? He was 4 out of 7 from free throw. I think 4 out of 7, something like that. And then the field goal was not that good. So you can already see that there's a big possibility of regression for De'Aaron. And when he regresses, maybe even just to 48% and 80% free throw, maybe Ja will rank higher already because Ja's counting stats are higher than De'Aaron Fox. So that's my take.
Yeah, I think Ja sticks here. Could stick, but I don't think it's gonna be really too far from each other. I think the percentages might fall off for Fox, but the numbers could fall off for Ja later on when Desmond Bain comes back, right? I mean, those numbers might not stick for Ja. That's just my take. There'll be usage that will be going around, right? And now, of course, the last time out, they didn't have Jaren Jackson, and now they don't have Bain, right? So that's when everyone's healthy, the usage might fall off. We've seen this from Ja. Ja starts really, really, really good. and then he kind of tapers towards the middle of the season until the end. Although the Memphis would still be good because they're not really as heavily dependent on Ja. But I think uh, other than the percentages, I know it's a big factor. I think the numbers, the counting stats wise, the Aaron Fox's numbers could stick um, over Ja's. That's just
Yeah.
I think, but the percentages, you're right. 85% you put there, too high, but I think it might not be too far off from Ja.
The Aaron is
That's
actually top
79.
20. Top 20 in the ranks wise. Ja is top 50. So actually, although Ja improved after last night, yesterday's game was around 40 or around there, 39 to 40. Maybe 20 ranks difference between them right now. I think eventually it will be the same. They'll be around the same range, 30s to 40, around that range. They should stabilize at that range.
Plus, I think I also feel just a little more careless. I guess more. I think Fox's game is a little bit more controlled.
Yeah.
Ja is a little more reckless. That's why he has almost 4 turnovers a game, and Fox has close to 3, which is a big difference as well when it comes to the rankings, right? So I think at this point in his career, Fox is a little more controlled. Plus, he's got good supporting cast as well, supporting players, and that might help him ease the load off him, at least from the usage standpoint. So I think I'd probably go with the Aaron here, over Ja. But again, they won't be too far off in the rankings. Some worry players, Jalen Smith. We've talked about him. Drop. Hold.
Stuff. In 12-team leagues, I would think if they're real, I mean, I put out a lot of players like Malik Beasley, like Denny Avdija. I feel like these players were at a shot right now over Jalen Smith.
Yeah, the numbers are good.
Really, I mean, Jalen's numbers are really bad at this point, and he's starting. I mean, the minutes are there, so maybe he's just not good. It keeps on coming back to my mind when I read about this analyst from Phoenix and Indiana talking about Jalen Smith, and then the Phoenix guy said, and the Indiana guy said, I don't know what's wrong with him. And the Phoenix guy said, maybe he's just not that good that you think he is. He had a good stretch last season when he was traded to Indiana.
No, here's also something we have to consider: the usage in Indiana.
Yeah.
I mean, last year he was good because Miles Turner wasn't there.
That's possible, yes.
Early this season, he was okay because Miles Turner wasn't there. I watched the game between Minnesota and Indiana. You barely notice Jalen Smith because Miles Turner is there, Buddy Hield is there, Tyrese is there, right? Those are the only 3 players you will notice in Indiana. You won't even know who the other guys are, who was starting with them. You don't know, but those 3 players are pretty much gonna get all the usage. And I think that's where Jalen Smith's fantasy value lies. That's where he will fall because he's not as good as any of those 3.
When Miles Turner was out, start of the season, he was okay. He was okay because one thing is the rebounds. The rebounds when he gets like he has games where he has 10 and 18, 5, 15 and 11, 8 and 14. So he has had big rebounding games. He has big rebounding games. He had 8 points, 14 rebounds, 15 and 11 rebounds, 10 points, 18 rebounds. So he has had those games. He has that potential. But as you said, with Miles Turner there, maybe the opportunities would be lesser. And again, how does he play? How does Jalen Smith play? He likes to take a lot of outside shots, right? Which is kind of
to Miles.
Similar to to Miles. So
I think the rebounding is going to be the crucial one there. If you can't rebound, that's going to
yes,
be a problem because Miles is not known for his rebounds. He doesn't play much on the out inside. Um, but but as a player who blocks a lot of shots, he's not known for his rebounding.
hmm,
Miles, right? Miles.
yeah,
So
agree.
that's where Jalen's value should come in. But if he doesn't rebound, then that's going to be a problem. His value really plummets if it doesn't do that. So I think it's so hard to drop a player who's starting. But like you said,
Look,
if there are players like I think Danny could stick. There are some guys who could stick. I'd rather have Mason Plumlee right now over
yeah,
Jalen Smith, right? I mean, if he's on the waiver wire, if you're looking for a center, right?
I have Jalen Smith in 14 team leagues. I haven't dropped him, so I wouldn't say that you drop him if you want to drop him. But in 12 team leagues, I would think there is a chance he can be droppable. Give depends on the waiver players. And again, look, going back to what he can do really in fantasy, you would think it's 3 pointers, right? Rebounds, 3 points for a big guy because that's what he does. And if he's shooting 25% from 3 points, uh, not
Yeah.
exactly Brook Lopez. And
No,
people were thinking
he's not even
maybe the
getting the
block.
looks. He's not even getting the ball. He's not even getting the shot. I
Yeah,
think
maybe the blocks. Maybe the blocks, but he's
he's
not
not
average.
he's not known for his blocking.
He had well, last year he had one block a game. That's not high, but if he gets like two threes and one block, maybe you'll say, okay, that's okay. I mean,
It's the
that
rebounding really. I think he should average what at least close to 10 to be
yeah, he's averaging 7.5, and that's not enough. That's not
maybe
yeah,
9, yeah. Add a couple more to
nine
that
nine and a
average, yeah.
half. I think 1.1 to 1.2 blocks, and then he has one. He's averaging 1 3 pointer a game. Maybe increase that to 1.5.
Yeah.
That would make it better. Again, I agree with you. An injury has to happen. Maybe or Miles Turner gets traded for nobody in return,
Yeah, but you're right.
and
You
he
don't just drop him, you know, for nothing.
yeah, of
Stream
course
his
not.
spot maybe. Yeah,
Mm,
maybe. If
yeah,
he's the loans if he's your worst player there.
yeah,
So you can do that. But again, players like Denny, players like um, Mason probably they could
maybe yeah.
stick. They could stick. I mean, these are not they are streamers in shallower leagues, but their roles are established already, so it's not going to be a major drop off, right? I think
Yes.
that those are the
Yes.
only some of the players wherein you could swap for a player like Jalen Smith. The others, like players like Tad Young maybe or Caleb Martin, they might not stick.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually they'll
That's true.
fall off. So it's going to be hard to drop. Or if you're really committed to just stream the spot, then you can just drop him and pick other
If
guys.
somehow you're in a shallow league and then Jalen Duren is there,
Yeah,
I would
Jalen
love
Duren
Jalen
is
Duren.
another.
I
Yeah,
would love Jalen Duren. Malik Monk, let's say. I think he will stick. He's been very hot.
yeah,
Bruce Brown, especially if he gets dropped when Jamal comes back, when
yeah. I
Bone comes
think
Bone
that's a
back.
better option too.
Yeah, I like him also. So
Uh,
yeah,
the other player, Keegan, before we wrap up things, Keegan Murray
Keegan and
is
Keldon.
another
Don't forget
player.
Keldon. Yeah,
Oh yeah, Keegan and Keldon. Keegan, let's talk about Keegan first. Because Keldon, we're not gonna drop, right? You're not gonna drop.
yeah. We're not gonna drop.
I think he's struggling a bit. He's gotten a little cold. Plus, I think the Spurs situation there is just kind of murky in the sense that lots of changes in the starting lineup and the rotations. Um, so I think Keldon is a little buy low. I'm not a big fan of Keldon, even during the draft. So I'm
Coach
hesitant.
Sandy's trying to sell me Keldon. So he
Coach
tried
Andy is
to
trying to sell me Boucher.
he offered Keldon to me for I told you Buddy Hield. Now he made another offer for Terry Rozier, and I said no. na, even went
Is
the
Terry
value even
Rozier
went up.
struggling? He is
Yes, but
struggling.
not as bad as Keldon. I mean, the last 3 games of Keldon's bad. Today he had 16 minutes, and what did he do? Nothing. I mean, no rebound. I mean, one rebound, no steals, no blocks, no nothing. So, and Pop acknowledged it that he's really in a slump. So I think it's buy low. But I'm not gonna sell him for. I'm not gonna buy him for Terry Rozier. That's not buy low. So
Yeah.
maybe if you got Lonnie Walker from me, I'll do it. But but not
So
for the higher
who are you
player.
selling for
I'm not
Keldon?
selling anybody. Who am I trying to?
Who are you willing to give up to get Keldon?
If I have inefficient guys like RJ Barrett,
Ben Simmons.
the answer to that is depends on your team. If your team is really poor in free throws, I'll still prefer Ben Simmons because of what he does all around. Ben Simmons will be better than Keldon Johnson overall if he just if we're not that
Royce
biased.
O'Neal.
No, Keldon Johnson.
Who else are struggling
That's different. I mean, if you can maybe trade Trey Jones struggling for Keldon Johnson,
Trey Jones, that's too low.
I think that's an upgrade.
That's too low though.
No, I mean you're buying Keldon and you're
but as a Keldon owner,
that's not too low. That's buying low, right?
That's too low.
Buying low.
I'd rather have the Royce deal.
Dinwiddie. Dinwiddie's top.
No, I have one. Malik Beasley.
Yeah, you can sell Malik Beasley. He's not gonna be this hot the whole season. So I'm gonna get.
I mean, at least that player's the numbers that player's giving is somehow.
If you have a Keldon owner, if I have Milton, let's say, I mean, not everybody plays in a very competitive league where the managers really know what they're doing. So you see Milton playing so well, and you you trade Milton for Keldon. That's a buy low.
All right, that's a good one though. That's a good one. Milton for Keldon. Yeah. Keegan. What to do? I have a couple of Keegan. I didn't even play him today.
I didn't play him today also, so I didn't care about. I have a couple of Keegan also. I didn't play him today. The past few quickies we've always said, stay patient. He's not really been there so far. Still not there. So I think at this point it's time to evaluate your team if you can still hold on to him. If you cannot, it's okay to drop him already. That's where I am right now.
I think if you're gonna drop him, probably now's the best time. Someone picks him up. He's still struggling, but remember Jabari Smith. We also had this stretch, and lately has been playing a little better. Not yet the good Jabari Smith that we want or expected, but at least it was better than the earlier Jabari Smith. So Keegan could be an slump, as we call it. Although Sacramento has really been playing well. Although they're deeper, they're a lot.
He's 1 out of 13 the past 2 games. The last 5 games he has no stops, no steals, no blocks. So it's really rock bottom for him right now, and the value can't get any worse.
Is he tradable at this point?
I have a deal. I'm trying to get him for Colin Sexton. No, I'm trying to get him for Colin Sexton. That's something that I'm considering. Sexton is playing well today. Played well, 12 assists, outplayed Taylor Horton-Tucker, and did well. I think that's something I might consider. Something like that. I think he's tradable.
I think the name value is there. I think a lot of managers,
But you're gonna go really, really down with the player you're gonna get him for.
Yeah.
It's really low. You're gonna get a really
No, if you're on the other side,
So
if you want to get him, I think there will be managers, even the experienced managers, who's gonna want Keegan as well. So before
maybe.
dropping him, maybe shop him around, ask some managers who they want, right? And the same thing with how you sell high certain players when you're wanting to sell this, sell low. See how low, or you might like a deal. You might see a deal you like, and then before dropping him, because Keegan's got the name value, right? He's got name value, and he's
Yeah.
got he's got trade value as well. Managers, somehow like him, like his game. So I think he's not gonna be hard to trade.
Harrison Barnes has been playing well.
Harrison
Harrison Barnes,
Barnes,
Harrison Barnes has been playing well.
one of our
That is also
favorites.
probably that's probably one factor with Keegan.
Barnes playing
Barnes,
well. Porter's been playing well. Pretty much the whole starting five is playing well, except for him.
yeah, yeah.
Except for him.
Um,
And
and
they're
I guess
winning.
that's the
They're winning. Plus Malik Monk has been playing well too.
Malik Monk's playing well too. I think the thing with Keegan, you have to wait. Probably my guess is mid to end of December before you get some sort of rhythm or consistency from him. It will take a while. That's the earliest I can see. Mid to
Yeah.
late December.
There also have been some rumors about trades. John Collins is the biggest name there. Well, John Collins has always been trade rumors every single year.
Yeah.
I don't know. No one wants him. I think because he's always been the subject of trade rumors every year. But he's still in Atlanta. So um,
And as the article said, there's a reason for that. His contract is 125 million for 5 years, and it's just starting. So
yeah.
there's no team that would want that. But you can see Atlanta. I read the article in the Athletic about the fact that DeJounte's entry kind of makes him not needed anymore.
Mhm.
You might think he's a point guard. DeJounte is a point guard. John Collins a power forward, but really like the versatility of DeJounte is kind of similar with the versatility of John Collins defensively on offense. So that has really hurt him. This has hurt him
But
also.
that's weird too because early this season, John Collins was so good.
That's true.
I mean,
That's true.
fantasy wise, we're not talking about basketball sense, right? We're just talking about the stats, and then I think that's where the bias is. The real basketball sense, he might not be a good fit with Atlanta, but fantasy wise, he played well. I mean, when Capella was struggling, he was the one who took up the some of the rebounding duties, the shot blocking duties. It was when Capella's game started to pick up. That's when his own game, John Collins' game, started to fall a bit. So yeah, but he's in trade
And
rumors. Could be something
I
to
think
watch
he's a
out
buy
for.
low. I think he's a buy low. His value is really low right now. The shooting has been bad. I mean, it's uncharacteristic for him. He's really a good roto guy, and this year he's just 48% from the field, which is low for him. So I think
Yeah.
if that normalizes to 51, 52, his career is 53, 54%. So if you, even just 3%, 51%, his value will already go up. His points will go back to 15, 16 points. And the rest of the stats will be there. So I think he's a very, very good buy low player to target. John Collins.
All right. So let's end it with this. We've got some waiver wire players that you probably picked up over the past few days. We're gonna ask Komish if they're gonna be they should be held. Are they a hold or a drop at this point? Perfect timing because tomorrow there are no games. In case you want to plan whatever streaming strategies you have, think about these picks. Nick Richards, if in case someone pick him up, is he a hold or a drop at this point?
He's a hold. I mean, he's a hold for now. You will. I believe you will drop him. He was already a pickup before, then he was dropped when he struggled. But 3 games of double doubles. Timeshare with Plumlee right now. Both of them are playing well. I think he's a hold. He's a hold.
Paul Reed.
Okay, I don't really know the update about Joel Embiid to answer this question, but I'm holding him until I see Embiid on the court. I'm
Yeah,
holding him because
that's my take too.
sprained foot is not sprained ankle. It's not the
And
same thing.
this is Joel Embiid.
This is Joel Embiid. That's true. That's
They
very
won,
true.
plus they won 1 out of 2 games, which is a good result already for a, when you have when you have Tobias and D'Anthony Melton as your best players. I think that's a
Yeah.
result that they would take. So as long if they can still win a few more games, they might still rest Embiid a little longer, right? So hold until Commish. I think I'll go with Commish with that. Shake Milton,
Hold. Shake Milton is a hold.
right?
Definitely until Maxi returns. Well, I don't know who comes back first, Harden or Maxi, but both of them, while they're out, he's a hold. But don't expect what he did today. That's not that's not
Almost a
gonna be. You
triple
know what
double, I
happened?
think. 22,
Yeah,
7, and 9.
you know how Shake is. He's gonna be good and then bad. It's gonna be good and then bad. You know,
No,
inefficient.
but
He's gonna be
the
very
difference now is that this lineup of I think you don't expect the same numbers, especially when Embiid comes back.
Yeah, with Shake. Yeah, when Embiid comes back, it won't be the same numbers. This
Yeah,
is the
but
best that can go
yeah, but the
for Shake
scoring might stick.
for
I
certain
think.
games.
Yeah,
For certain games, not
not all
all
the
the
time,
time.
but it
Not
won't
all
be
the time.
bad though. I don't think it will. I don't think it will be bad because there's no more players. He's
Yeah.
gonna score. He's probably their
Well,
second best scorer now.
second best. Melton's
He's
not
not
bad
known,
as a scorer.
but he's
I
not.
mean,
I think Shake is a better scorer. Milton is a better all around player
Melton
defensively,
is a better all around player. That's true. But he has
but
been able
Shake
to
is a
score
better
lately.
scorer.
Better doesn't mean more efficient though.
Yeah,
I mean,
that too.
yeah.
That's the trade off
But
there.
yeah,
He's not gonna
definitely
be.
hold on to Milton. Even if he has some bad games, just hold on to him
Yeah.
until they get healthy.
Caleb Martin.
Caleb Martin. Well, I have him in 14 team leagues, so that answers the question, right? I have him in a lot of 14 team leagues.
Yeah. So hold until he doesn't show up anymore.
Yeah.
Doesn't show up because that can happen. Tad Young, another popular ad for today.
Todd Young, I think Scotty Barnes sprained his knee. So yeah, I think he's a hold. All of these guys I think are holds at the moment. They're very hot.
Alec Burks, hold.
Alec Burks, Killian Hayes got injured.
Mm-hmm.
So yes. Hold
Jalen
hold
Duren.
definitely. Easy hold. The easiest hold there is. You have to hold Jalen Duren. Just I predict a lot of good things for Duren.
Yeah, and Dwayne Casey also had some nice comments about Jalen Duren recently. AJ Griffin, the Hawks.
No, it's monitor guy for me. Although I like where he is going right now with the minutes and everything, but still monitor first. I'm not convinced that he's gonna be consistent. So for 16 to 18 team leagues, maybe
Mason Plumlee, just add him there since we talk
add
about
him.
Nick Richards.
Yeah,
Add and
Plumlee.
hold
Yeah,
until he
add and hold.
struggles.
Yeah.
Denny Avdija, the last one.
Denny, yeah, still a hold for me also. Denny's a hold.
All right, so guys, all those guys shouldn't be in your waiver, except for maybe AJ Griffin, who is probably a borderline. Hold and wait and see where that goes. All right, so yeah, that's it for a quickie. It's a long quickie, but hopefully you got a lot out of this discussion and hope you enjoyed it. tomorrow we plan to go live. We'll post it in our Facebook page since it's a no game Friday. We'll be live probably around 9 p.m. Manila time. We'll do it a little earlier so that we'll get to answer a lot more of your questions. But for now, that's it for Daily Fantasy Quickie. As always, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and do whatever you need to do to follow us in wherever you're listening or watching us. We'll see you guys again tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.